So I recently tweeted out a reply talking about the significance of Sasha's death that got way more likes than I thought it would. The most likes I ever got on any tweet, actually. And I thought this topic would be interesting to expand on in a video. By the way, if you're on the Bluebirdie app, give me a follow to see me shout into the void that is the internet. And if you're here because you like Attack on Titan, hit that itty bitty like button for more. I'm your narrator MK, and let's get into the deeper meaning of Sasha Browse's death in the final season. Now, it's no surprise that Attack on Titan's reputation of being ruthless when it comes to killing off characters would continue into its final season. We as fans know Isayama is not afraid to kill off our faves and most likable characters. I think it's one of the qualities that sets Attack on Titan apart from other anime. As you watch it, you quickly realize the story has high stakes with consequential deaths and even some pointless deaths to show you just how cruel this world is. But even if some are necessary or pointless, there are some character deaths that carry significance and symbolism. Potato Girl Sasha's demise is one of them. Since season 1, when we first saw Sasha nearly risk it all for this starchy vegetable, she has been one of the few characters in Attack on Titan other than Hanji to bring any kind of comedic relief in the series. In my previous Attack on Titan video, where I analyze episode 1 of the final season, I talk about how some brief moments of comedy are used to break the tension of the series events that are happening. Adding a layer of comedy and lightheartedness to a character makes them way more likable. And Sasha's death in episode 8 symbolizes the end of any comedy for the rest of the series. It lets us know that there will be no more lighthearted moments to come, no more breaks in tension, that from here on out, anyone and everyone is fair game to die, reminding us that this world has always been cruel. This event certainly sets the tone for the rest of the series. In writing, there's something called the promise of tone. Tone is the overall mood or attitude of a work of art. The tone sets off how the reader or viewer should feel about a work. For example, the soundtrack and use of colors are just two elements that help set the tone for an anime. Attack on Titan has always demonstrated a dark and somber tone since that very first carnage-filled episode. And with this dark tone, the story and Isayama technically are making us, the viewers, a promise. The promise that we expect this story to be dark as shit, gory, and touch on some real themes surrounding our own mortality, war, and the cycle of hate. When you kill off a beloved and amusing character like Potato Girl, it not only reminds us of the morose tone, but it makes a promise that shit gets real from here on out. It lets us know that the conclusion to this story is not going to be a happy one. Maybe not even a hopeful one, but we already knew that. The circumstances surrounding Sasha's death are hard to come to terms with too. The fact that Gabby, a young kid brainwashed by Marley propaganda, shoots Sasha dead right as the scouts are celebrating what they call a victory, makes her death even tougher to bear. Just when we thought our class 104 scouts survived, Isayama does it to us. Not only does it give viewers reason to hate Gabby, but it also makes us feel some type of way toward Eren for doing all this. And not just to us, but to the scouts from the 104 cadet crew too. Sasha's death shows the shift of opinion about Eren. Jean, Connie, and even Mikasa and Armin have reasons to doubt Eren's actions and intentions. There's a clear loss of trust from the person who is supposed to be the key to saving humanity. And of course, through these 16 episodes, we see Eren transition into the bad guy, setting him up to be the antagonist of the story. Now, this brings me to the final point I want to make about Sasha's death that involves Eren's capacity as the Attack and Founding Titan. But before I get into that, I'm going to remind you to hit that like button if you're enjoying the video so far. Also, this point briefly goes into moments from the manga that have not been animated yet, so technically some final season part 2 spoilers. If you don't want to know, here's your cue to exit out the video, but don't forget to like it before you go. Okay, now for you curious anime onlys and those who've already read the manga, I want to briefly touch on the scene where Eren laughs when he finds out what Sasha's last words were. You'll notice it's not a happy laugh. It's a quiet, desperate, hopeless kind of laughter that is out of place, like when Eren broke out hysterically when Hannes died at the end of season 2. Sasha's death is a reminder to Eren that even with the Attack and Founding Titan's powers in his possession, he cannot change the future. What's more, that he knows he shouldn't change this part of the future, because as we know from reading the manga, if Eren decided to, let's say, throw Gabby out the blimp before she shot Sasha, then Niccolo would have never had a reason to accidentally hit Falco over the head with a wine bottle, and Falco would have never swallowed the spinal fluid from said wine to allow him to later turn into a literal bird to help the scouts get to Eren's centipede Titan. Eren knew that this sequence of events had to happen or would happen, and with that knowledge, it makes this scene of Eren laughing even sadder. Just as he felt hopeless when Hannes died, he feels hopeless in this moment too, because he knows Sasha's death was inevitable. Gosh, don't you just love it when a scene has so many different significant meanings to it? Let me know in the comments how you feel about this scene. I know everyone is going to say they hated Gabby, but I'm curious to know if anyone hated Eren after this scene. Anyway, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you want to hear me geek out some more about writing and anime. And check out my shorts videos that I have up on my channel where I give you reasons why you should or should not watch a particular anime, and I give first episode impressions of other anime and shows. I'm your narrator, MK, and I'll see you in the next one.